Well, guys, so as you can see, the darkness in my room, it is kind of storming, raining today. And today is Memorial Day. And uh, for those that served, um, even those who didn't, everybody's affected differently. Everybody has somebody that was affected, somebody that was involved in or lost in wartime. And I think our generation, um, mine more than this generation. Um, it's a little different for us. Previous generations had more uh, tragedy, more involvement, more loss than we did, even in my generation. This generation has seen its fair share of loss, don't get me wrong, but it's a little different for each generation. And I'd like to think that each generation we see less and less war, less and less tragedy, less and less loss. Um, I like to think that. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but being that it's Memorial Day, um, and I can't get out in the garden, and so I figured I'd come in here and before I start gaming, because well, what else you do when it's rainy? I have one video I was going to put out for today, but I'll put that out on Wednesday, and hopefully tomorrow I can get out and shoot something in the garden. But I just wanted to take a couple minutes of everybody's time and just say, hey, remember those people lost. Maybe you don't agree with how it went down. Maybe you don't, but those people are still lost, and we still need to remember those people and what it was. And I recall being in I want to say it was 7th or 8th grade, and my history teacher talking about this, and how this holiday came about, what it used to be called, what it used to be, and that it was in the fairly recent future that the name of it became Memorial Day. But it's still a day. It was a day of remembrance then. It's a day of remembrance now. And there's I forgot who said it, but there's always that saying, "Lest ye forget." In other words, remember those tragic times so you don't forget, so we don't redo or relive those times, right? So, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. I'm not going to get political. I have my opinions, but there's a lot of stuff going on today that some of it's overinflated, some of it's not, but everybody has their right to their view and their opinion, and how we handle it is on us. So, think about that before you act on your opinion to somebody else. So you don't know what that person's going through, right? And they have an opinion the way they have their opinion because of things that have to happen to them. So I need to do a better job of that. I need to be less judgmental and less quick to the draw, so to speak. And I need to start learning to take a step back. And I think everybody in the world needs to learn to start taking a step back. Everybody has their beliefs for one reason or another. And, you know, just, just, just think about that whenever somebody's coming there, some tragedy, something may have happened to them. So they're going to have their beliefs. You're going to have your beliefs. Just try and not meet in the middle, but understand, hey, they've got something going on. Let me do my thing away from them, or show support for them, or whatever it be. But just remember, everybody goes through everything, and everybody handles things differently. I lost when I was in the military, and I don't need a thank you for your service. I don't need any of that. I did what I did. I did my service. Back in my day, there was a draft. I hear people cheering that there's no draft now, but at the same time, I would have gone either way. I went voluntarily on my own. I did my duty, so to speak, and there are other countries that the draft is always in place, but don't necessarily be all for the draft going away. Don't necessarily be for the draft coming back. Just understand that each of us needs to support our country. We may not like who's in the office. We may not like what they're doing. But everything comes around. So, and remember, everybody supports everything differently. I have friends that are Democrats. I have friends that are Republican. I have friends that are liberal. We're still friends. So just remember that before you jump the gun. Anyway, so just remember what today is. Remember to support your family, friends, if they have fallen soldiers, fallen family members, comrades, soldiers. Doesn't matter what country they're from. Doesn't matter where they're from. Just remember somebody's probably lost somebody to this. So, anyways, moving on from that. So, I did take a stroll through the garden this morning before I went out on my day. Even though it's Memorial Day, I still had a doctor's appointment, and I did go. But it was so nice to walk out in that garden. It was a little rainy, but it was nice to walk out there. I have lost some of the squash that was out there. That one zucchini, the big zucchini that I had growing out there, I don't know what happened to it. The bottom of it rotted. I think the top part, I probably could have cut it off, but once it starts rotting, I feel like it goes through the whole vegetable or the fruit. Turn this down just a little bit. There we go. I feel like it just goes through the whole fruit. So I didn't want to eat it. I did take it off. I was still proud. I mean, I grew it. I didn't get to it before it rotted or the bugs got it, whatever it was. But I was still proud. It grew. So, last year stuff never made it off the vine. So at least we got it off the vine this time. I really need to work on a few things and figure a few things out. The squash plant that's out there, I have one big yellow squash, and I've got to decide when to cut that one off and take that. The other two little yellow squash that were on there, the bottoms of them rotted from where the flowers were. So I kind of looked it up online. It could be a multitude of things. It could be they're not getting enough calcium, or they're overwatered or underwatered. And overwatered, you get like if you underwater and then overwater, it I guess messes up, which would make sense because we've been getting a lot of rain the last few weeks. And I probably only water the plants like every third day if it's not raining, so that I'm not overwatering in the pots, because I don't want the pots to stay soaking wet all the time. I want a little bit of moisture all the time, but not soaking wet so that the roots rot. So I've got to look at that and see what I can do there. The zucchini plant, I think cutting back all those bad vines that had all the powdery mildew on it that was all the way down to the vines, I think that helped a little bit. So I when I went out the other day, I didn't see as much powdery mildew, but I'm not 100% sure if maybe that's because of the rain. The rain was involved in that. We'll see. So I won't be able to treat these plants tomorrow, most likely, because it looks like we're going to get, I think we're supposed to have rain all day on and off today, and then possibly tomorrow. So, but we'll see. If it's nice enough out tomorrow, we'll go out and we'll fix some of that stuff and put the sprays on, try and keep the bugs under control. I did notice on that one end bucket at the very end, where it's just garlic and one cabbage plant. I think there's some. Yeah, there's there is a spearmint, peppermint or mint plant in there, and the cauliflower, and I believe there's one other plant in there. But anyway, I did notice last week, and I think I mentioned it in one of my videos. It may be the one coming out on Wednesday, may have been one before that, but there are black mites on the garlic plant. Now, there was something I was reading about onion mites, so now I got to look for that. But I did spray the one plant that did have some infestation on. They said you can hose them off. But my thing is, if I hose them off, wouldn't they climb back up and go onto them? But anyway, so I want to spray those. I did spray the one, but I see them on other ones. So I want to spray those, try and spray all the ones in that pot. Just in case there's an infestation in there, I want to get rid of it as quick as possible before it spreads throughout all the pots. And I am going to have to go through all the pots and check all the pots. So if I do get out there tomorrow and we shoot a video, that's what we'll be shooting on. So all that said, I still don't have any cantaloupe. I got plenty of flowers on there. So I'm going to need to read. Oh, that was the other thing of the squash. It said it, which I don't really understand. The ones rotting off could also be they didn't get completely pollinated. So I'm not sure I understand that. But so if you guys know about it, drop it in the comments, educate me, and we'll see. Maybe that'll help me. You know, I don't know. But I haven't seen one cantaloupe yet. I've got plenty of flowers on there. So I think what I need to do is I need to read up, because I haven't seen as many bees this year. I only saw them like 1 or 2 days, and I haven't seen any since. I have not seen ladybugs or ladybirds, depending on where you're from. I don't understand the ladybird part because it's not a bird, but whatever. But so I haven't seen any ladybugs. I haven't seen any real pollinators. I did see a couple of the little tiny black, I think they're black wasps, but the parasitic wasps are supposed to go after the mites and things. I did see one of those a couple times. I haven't seen any butterflies yet, but I feel like it's kind of early in the season for the butterflies. So still waiting around for that. I did get a comment in one of my videos. I was pointing out a squash bug, and the comment was, I don't see a squash bug, I see a ladybug. And to that point, last year I actually thought that brown bug was a ladybug. It is not a ladybug. So I use my AI camera now on Google searches so that I can find out what these bugs are, because I don't know a lot of them. I don't know a lot of the different bugs and stuff. So I use the AI camera. The AI camera said it was a squash bug. So that said, I took that off. I got rid of that. I've had like 4 or 5 of them on there, and that might explain a lot from last year, because last year the squash, was it squash that squash plants that I had out there, they just did not make it. I was leaving those bugs on there. Now I know. So yeah, that was a squash bug. I thought it was a ladybug as well. I thought maybe it was the male version of the ladybug, but usually the male is the brighter colored and the female is the lighter, or like the less vibrant. Like same with birds, the male cardinals are bright red. The female cardinals have the orange beaks and just the little tip and the gray feathers, right? And I think that's more for camouflage while they're laying the eggs and trying to hatch the eggs, right? So anyway, so that's what I thought it was too at one point, but according to the AI and the camera, that is a squash bug. I also did, I took a picture of a couple other bugs, and I had some lantern bugs in there, which I didn't, I thought they were tree kinds, like they were tree bugs. But anyway, so I did find a couple of those. It was really kind of strange, but yeah, so we'll have to go back out there. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm probably gonna. I get up fairly early, so I'll probably go out early in the morning and start doing this stuff. And then maybe if it's not raining until the afternoon, maybe I can spray and take care of some of this stuff. And it's funny because every time it rains, it seems like all these bugs appear on my plants. So, and that may be because I'm not able to treat it. It's raining, so we'll see what happens with that. Financially, I want to say I'm making progress, but I don't feel like I'm making progress. I just feel like every time I make a payment to pay down the debt, that I'm just literally paying off the interest only. I mean, I know I'm paying a lot more than, I want to say a lot more, but I know I'm paying more than the interest that I accrue every month. But it's so slow at coming down. It's sometimes it's hard to see. So I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress, not a lot, a little bit of progress on that. But hopefully around September, if I'm able to, I'm hoping that I can either get another, what do you call it, a consolidation loan, or um, availability of maybe some of my 401k. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping I can pay that off, because once I can pay that off, that will alleviate a lot of stress for me, because I really need to get into squirrel mode with my money, because I really want to get a property. I want to get a house. I want to get a piece of property, something, anything that I can call my own, that I can either build a small house on, or has a house that has a couple acres, or at least an acre, right? Because I want to be able to plant a much bigger garden. I want to be able to put in more of my own food, right? And I wouldn't mind getting a few animals, even if they're not pets, they're just for fertilizer, whatever. Um, However it be, I wouldn't mind getting a few animals that help me in the garden, so to speak. But yeah, so that's where we're at with that. It's not moving as fast as I'd like it to, but I am making a little bit of progress each month. It's such a small bit of progress that it's hard for me to see it sometimes. So we're getting there. We'll get this paid off eventually. I'm hoping by September, maybe mid-October, I'll have some better results and be in a much better position. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. It's slow. It's a slow process right now, but I'm hoping that once we get over this debt and get rid of this final bit of debt that I have, that things will progress a little quicker, and we'll see where we're at. So that said, so there's a little bit of progress there, but again, more so, I just wanted to come on here real quick to, say, I hope everybody has a safe Memorial Day and a happy holiday. Enjoy your time with your friends and family, and make sure you enjoy that time, because you just don't know. You never know what the next day is going to bring. So enjoy your time with your family. And remember those people that were lost. I have, over the years, lost quite a few friends that I've served with that, have either passed away from in service, or um, for other reasons from being a service member, have 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 unfortunately passed. But yeah, so remember those folks that served. Um, you know, some of them have a lot of burdens on their plate. So be a little gentle today with people. And guys, I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Stay safe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. I'll post this out today, Memorial Day, instead of our regular videos. Hopefully it's not too downer. But anyway, I just felt like I needed to give you guys a little update where we were to as far as things go for the channel. We are growing. We did pick up a few more subscribers this week, so thank you guys for subscribing. Those that are not subscribed, that keep coming back and watching, I really, really appreciate you. But if you would do me that solid favor and just hit that subscribe button, it doesn't cost you anything. It just helps the channel. Hit that bell button, then you'll get notified when the videos come out, and we'll keep going that way. Please make sure to hit that like button as well if you would. Try to watch as much of my ugly mug as you can tolerate. The more watched hours we get, the faster we climb that thing. We've done pretty well so far. Each week, I want to say we go up 1 hour to 2 hours, somewhere around there. Trying to get more shorts out so that you guys can see more stuff during the week, and we'll go from there. But I may actually go live today on my Twitch channel. I don't have that posted up right now, but I may actually go live on there and do some gaming today. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. So I'm kind of fasting today, so anybody that's fasted knows, you know, how that goes. And for a guy like me who eats on a regular, like every 2 hours, it's it can be pretty tough. But yeah, so I'll be on my Twitch later today, likely. I haven't 100% decided that yet, but guys, have a great holiday. Please be safe. Please, please, please take it easy, but have a good time. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. And again, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing and all that. Guys, have a great, great day. Be blessed and be safe.